oh no, this is what it this is how it's supposed to be.
Indeed. We rolling?
Yeah, we rolling. He said we good.
Patreon, what up? Shit.
It's been a minute. We back.
I missed last week. I was working.
Forgive us. Technical
Working
difficulties, but we are back.
Yeah, man. Last week was fun. Shit, I've been working this weekend too, for real.
Yeah, so you booked them busy. You out here running it up, traveling friends, running it up.
Trying to get a couple dollars, man. That's
Usher in Columbus right now. You got everybody popping up.
Nigga, if I don't make it to a motherfucking Usher,
I definitely got to get the one.
if I see another motherfucking video of somebody I know,
I'll fuck around and go by myself at this point.
Yeah, me too.
Wanted to take a young lady, but I go dolo.
What are we doing? That's what we doing on Patreon?
I go dolo.
Nigga know good and well he ain't going nowhere dolo.
Especially Vegas.
I go to Vegas dolo. Vegas I could, because it's gambling. You know what I mean? Gambling and
The
shopping.
question is no. It's never gonna be.
Oh.
No, Reese.
Did you doing Vegas by yourself? Y'all see Usher?
Nah, if I'm gonna see Usher, definitely young lady.
You understand?
little Yamin.
Pick one up out there on the West Coast. You know what I mean? Like or buy one.
Absolutely.
I did do that before.
Oh, absolutely. That's right.
So to be a unit agree?
So they say. I don't know, maybe though. Maybe. I don't know.
I understand, man.
Those skeletons in my closet,
Yeah, they roll. They just bullshit. This is what they do.
Yeah, so, what happened?
What's up?
The topic I had for the Patreon, I had seen this post, man. It's basically about black people.
Okay.
So I was like, man, I want to bring this to the show. And this was the post, and it said, black people can't get ahead because y'all sabotage any black greatness. And my comment was this, and y'all tell me how y'all feel. I said, my comment was, I was like, man, look, black people want to see each other win. It's just they don't like to see people win before them, and they feel like it's a competition when they do see that. And also I said, black people don't like black people as much as they say.
Okay.
And that's how I feel personally. Like you it's hard to, when you want to be in a position and somebody ahead of you, like externally you might cheer that shit on, but internally, like niggas, they be taking that shit personal, like it's an attack on you.
I think, if we can, be semi-honest, with the topic, to an extent, I think a lot of people have it in them to where they wondering, why not me, why not now? You know what I mean? Even though you can still cheer somebody on and be happy for them, you know what I mean? But you also get to thinking of your own plight or your own struggles and be like, damn, like when is my time coming? I've been putting in work too. You know what I mean? How come shit ain't falling in place for me? But I think it's just really a matter of your surroundings and who it is that you look into, you know what I mean, as far as inspiration or motivation, whatever it may be. I think my circle is so, well intact that it's kind of hard to see outside of it who's doing what for me to even have a negative or positive thought on it. Now, if it come across my way and I get wind of it, cool, salute to them. You know what I mean? I'm happy to see that. But then it's like it's right back to grind mode. You know what I mean? Like you peek your head out to see what's going on, but you still in your own race. So I mean, with my circle of people, that I'm around, and even y'all, it's more so like, nah, I can be a cheerleader, and still run my own race and be happy for a nigga. So I think it's hit or miss. You know what I mean? Like sometimes, and again, I'm being honest, sometimes I have looked at a motherfucker with some success. Now this could be somebody that I don't know, but it's be like what? Like him? Why? You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And I know that's hate. You know what I mean? I can sit here and admit that. That is hate. You know what I mean? But I also think that's normal. I think people do that whether they want to admit it or not. But that's how I feel about it.
A couple of situations I was thinking of is one, especially with Dez, with Dez and Craig with Stupid for the Hookah.
Yeah.
Like the city basically was like, oh, like niggas like us was like, oh shit, like this is crazy. But I know the rapper niggas that been trying their hardest at the time was like, that's Dez, like that's the so classic nigga, like he not supposed to, you know what I'm saying? And instead of just championing it, like.
Let me ask y'all a question in regards to that. Do y'all look at that slightly different when it comes to music or even sports because of the competitive nature? You know what I mean? Like, cause that's how I slightly look at some things. It's like, in the field where somebody is doing something that you feel like you better than them at doing it, I think it's okay to have some slight, like, them niggas is trash. You know what I mean? Like, you can still cheer a nigga on, but you can also still voice that they weak. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I mean,
that's what I'm saying. That's hate.
But also too, but see, my thing is like when it comes to music, the thing is there's so many different lanes for it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, I can understand how one would feel like that, like, damn, you know what I mean? But, like, I think now people kind of more accepting to it because they see, like, there's these different pockets, but I feel like at the time when, referencing to what, me and Craig was doing, it was just like everybody kind of just put everybody in one pocket when it's really not like that. Like, there's different lanes and avenues for that shit. So I feel like there is a lane for everybody. You just got to carve out your lane and work your lane. You know what I mean? And I feel like that with anything because it's, you dealing with, I don't give a fuck if you dealing with the restaurant industry, the bar industry, like whatever, like.
So y'all don't feel that like that competitive nature though, like with shit? Because even people was coming at us about parties and shit, like we ain't promoting.
I mean, I feel like that's just natural for a person to have that, but I feel like the issue with when you do that, you're missing your blessing though. Like you can't because if you always looking into somebody else's lane, you're gonna miss what you know what I mean? You're gonna miss what you got for you because you too worried about what you feel like your quote unquote competitors are doing or your quote unquote peers are doing. It's just like not everybody's race is different because for real, somebody might get there quicker than you, but you might last longer than you. You know what I'm saying?
But so in general, and Blaze, I want to get your opinion on it. Is that a black mentality though? Is that like, because Blaze, you always say the nigga mentality, like, and you know what I'm saying? And I know you reference different stuff with that, but like, is that just black people that be like?
Because we've been behind the 8 ball for so long, Trav.
So we like, but even like you, when you like, even Risa Blaze being signed to a label, like, like. I'm sure niggas cheer Jaw Warren every day, but I know it's niggas like
we as a
I'm
whole,
nicer than them niggas, like you know. What I'm saying?
It's just natural,
and they were lying. Keep on.
Absolutely.
It's just natural.
But you also welcome that though, like and expect it.
I mean, because I just feel like as a whole, we just been behind the 8 ball for so long, so it's just like, so you gonna just naturally be competitive with people that really ain't your competitors. You know what I'm saying? But you just look at it like that because it's like, damn, they get into it before me. Why them? How they do it? What make them better than me? You feel what I'm saying? And I feel like that can't be the focus. The focus got to be like whatever your goal is, you got to focus on the goal.
But why, like, I understand the black people been behind the 8 ball, but like in the like today's climate, like why are we still like that?
Because
like,
we don't got
we
shit.
don't be in nobody's lane, nigga. Like we created the lane and convinced about this, but niggas still be looking.
Because niggas ain't got shit, bro. That's what it is. So it's just like,
that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I believe in being competitive in all aspects, but I have rules. I never compete with the family. Never. I don't give a fuck what's going on. I'm never compete with the family. But everybody else, yeah, I'm competitive. That's just who I am.
Yeah.
That's in business. That's in podcasting. That's in music. That's just how I roll. But I do it with good nature. Meaning, like, even if I see a competitor, I'm low-key rooting for them too. Like being like on some shit like, all right, I see what you're doing. I said you going crazy. Okay.
So you take it as motivation?
Yeah, more motivation.
Is there a thin line between motivation and hate?
Yes.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
So
like,
I think we use hate too frivolously.
Yeah, that's what I think hate is being used wrong. Like, because that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, to look at somebody and see that they moving and they doing something, like, and you have thoughts or an opinion on it, cool. You know what I mean? That's fine. As long as you're not trying to downplay what they got going on or you're not trying to fuck it up, I think it's all fair and game. Like,
yeah, like let's talk about, like, we're very competitive. We won't talk about it here. We won't go deep down. But when it comes to the playlist, we're all very competitive.
Yeah, like perfect example.
And what y'all consider hate, I love. Like when y'all get on my list, I love that. Like it's just like, man, this is first of all, it's what we doing, and I want to make sure we'll talk about it on the show. Like we never lose the grand sight of what that's supposed to be. But yeah, I like competition.
Yeah, like all right, like
I think it's necessary.
This was an example. All right, there's this kid from Columbus that he signed a Timberland's production label, and he produced.
What's the kid's name?
His name is Angel Diaz.
Okay.
He worked on Jack's album too, but he's been working with Jack, and you know, First Class was a very big record with the Fergie sample. Yeah, so he helped produce that. You know, that was the #1 record. Yeah. So I mentioned that, like, Angel, you got a #1 record. And the nigga was like, so? And I'm like, damn, you can't.
No, that's hate.
I don't think that's hate.
That's hate to me.
That fucked me up.
That's hate, Reese.
Like, that, I took it as hate.
Did it come from another producer?
Yes.
Right, they're like, so what? Like, all right, he dope, but...
They didn't say he dope.
That's like with hooping, like, we go look at the box.
I think that's hate.
You go look at the box score, see a nigga killed, like, all right. He can't do shit with me.
All right, like, when we talk basketball...
Salute.
I take it as
You're
level.
saying salute, though. This person is not saying salute. They're just saying, so what?
Right, I don't give a fuck. Like, all right, listen.
To me, that's hate.
Is it hate because he's not cheering them on? Like, cause we don't have to. We don't have to champion and support everything, do we?
And
in the ideal world, we should, but I'm not going to salute and champion and support everything. You know what I mean?
That's just not. I don't even feel like that's realistic to champion and support everything.
Right? Yeah. And maybe I'm phrasing that wrong, but in regards to what Trav said, like, he didn't. Was this voluntarily? You brought it to him, like, you know, such and such produced First Class, and he said, so what? Right?
Yeah.
Like, all right.
I don't feel that.
That's not hate to me.
All right, cool.
All right, what you telling me for?
So to me,
saying okay, cool.
Say to me is the wording,
I'm
right?
with you, Des. Like,
saying okay, cool is like, all right, cool, like.
That's not hate though. You saying okay, cool, or you even saying salute, but you being competitive. If a nigga just flat out was just hating and
it was like so.
Hate to me would have been like, man, that nigga trash. Like he only got that because of this. That's hate.
Because look, that's like if a nigga approached me about another podcast from here getting a deal.
Right, you go like, all right, so
like,
that's what we gonna say, right?
No.
We gonna be like, congratulations. I'm not.
I'm not gonna hate.
I'm not gonna hate, but
all right, cool.
so
like,
what?
I mean,
that's a good question. So if another podcast got a big time deal,
the term
same field as us for the most
so
part.
that'll make me almost want to fight.
Why though?
Like so?
all right, cool.
That's what I'm saying. It's almost like you want a nigga to.
Because think about it. Think about this, right? Look at this. Let's take the competitive thing out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Think about how many people you know personally don't even support the podcast. Is that hate?
No, that's not hate.
But I'm just saying though. So it's like
How's that not hate though?
So why should I care that another nigga with a podcast is doing? Like, why do I give a fuck what they do?
So that you said, why is that not hate?
Yeah.
Just because somebody doesn't listen to the podcast?
No, I'm just saying because y'all was saying that a nigga saying so what is hate, but your own people not supporting it. Like, how would that not be hate?
No, it's not hate, Reese. Like, listen, that's like saying whoever. Let's just say Drake's cousin might not listen to rap. They don't listen to Drake. That's not hate.
No, not at all.
So if somebody doesn't listen to our podcast, we might not be their cup of tea.
Right.
That's how I see it. But I also would see somebody in our similar
nigga
lane.
who says so what? Because he knows he wanted to produce that record and get that recognition is hate.
But Trav brought it to him. He didn't come seeking Trav out talking about it. Trav said, you know, such and such. Like, so it's almost like, well, all right, why are you telling me so?
He's a producer. I wouldn't take no offense to that. You came to me and talked, like, even just now getting information.
But it's not like I just jumped in the chat. Like, we're talking about producers. Obviously, Rashad produced 2 tracks, Jack's album. And I'm like, there's another kid from Columbus on the album. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we got
it. You was doing your wind-up shit.
I mean, but that's what we do, right?
Yeah,
So it's like, yeah, there's another kid from Columbus, and there's just like,
But that's what I'm
you
saying.
gotta, you know, I'm like to me, I took it as like, and I feel like that's hate,
But that's where y'all gotta take into account the competitive nature of another motherfucker. Like to hear you telling me about like you already know you my mans, and now you come telling me about another nigga doing this over here, like unsolicited. You know what I mean? I ain't even gonna keep saying that because I really don't know how the conversation was going. But it's just like, all right.
It was solicited. They're talking about producers on the Jack Harlow album.
So, like, this in another conversation I have, maybe this I have, like, you know, when it comes to, like, being outside and DJing, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I tell a nigga, like, bro, if you're not in the game, like, I really don't give a fuck about your opinion if you think somebody's whack or not. But because I feel like if you're not playing the game, if you're not outside with it, then your opinion.
I feel like that's it.
That was that right there. Now that right there, like, hold up.
You feel like that's hate for me? Like,
because you can't like who
How you gonna tell a nigga? That's like how the NBA players or the pro athletes get mad at the media because they didn't play the game.
all right, say like a nigga that was nice in high school but didn't play, and he's trying to shit on you, like you like nigga, you didn't even play high school ball. Like niggas knew you was nice at Orton Davis, but that don't mean shit. Like
That ain't for me. That's never been a comeback like of a nigga not playing on a certain level. For me, you know what I mean. But I'm sure niggas have taken that approach, but that's never been my thing. Like, cause hoopers know hoopers, regardless of if they play organized or not. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but I don't know.
the music is a little bit. It's a little different. You know what I mean? Cause what do you gauge it off of? Like, cause there ain't no minor leagues. I mean, I guess there. I don't know. In music, what would be considered a lower tier or a minor league? You know what I mean? It's like, right, either you local, either you signed or you not.
Yeah.
But now in today's climate, being signed ain't even necessarily the ultimate goal. You know what I mean? So it's hard to gauge that, you know what I mean, what you, based off of what you would deem success or what's doing good or, you know,
So in general, hate is overused term and everything shouldn't be considered hate.
I think hate is really like, for me, you know, hate is when you are casting like negativity over what somebody got going on, or you saying that they shouldn't have this because of this, or it's just a constant negative. Like me not acknowledging what you're doing or me not giving a fuck about it is not hate. For me, like that's how I look at it. It's just like, I don't give a fuck. Like, cause like Dad said, like we ain't gonna give a fuck about everything. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, granted, I'm in that same field and I want that opportunity, but the nigga who you might be telling that to might not like, I don't give a fuck about Jack Harlow rapping on none of my beats. I ain't making nothing that I want Jack Harlow on anyway. Even that shouldn't be the mindset, but some niggas do think like that. Music is super, super weird. Like, cause you got some niggas who will not, for anything, wanna, it's like the credibility that they feel like, nah, I make this type of music for these type of rappers. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want this popcorn shit, you know what I mean? So it's different, you know what I mean? But hate for me would be when you are spewing like negativity or you trying to fuck up what somebody got going on. Not giving a fuck about something or not acknowledging, that's not hate, not to me at least.
Did you feel the same way?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, bro. Like, I feel like I said, man. Like I feel like I said this earlier, man. Like just because niggas are in like similar fields or whatever, like I don't gotta care about what niggas are doing in a similar field. Like I just, you know what I mean. I just been, maybe it's just me, but it's just like I just been on some shit. I don't want to say I just been. This is just how I just view shit. Period. It's just like I really try not to worry about what the fuck the next person got going on, because you don't necessarily know what's going on behind the scenes for them to get where they got. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there'll be a lot of moving pieces. There'll just be a lot of little shit to it that you don't know. So it may look easy. It may look like, you know, they got something handed to them quicker than you or whatever, but you don't necessarily know what all took place for them to get to where they got. And like I said, just because somebody gets there before you don't mean they're gonna last longer than you. So you gotta just run your race, man. Like I feel like it's when you get caught up in what everybody else is doing on top of your everyday shit, like nigga, you gonna drive yourself insane.
I agree.
You think? What's your definition of hate?
My definition of hate is just like, man, fuck that nigga. That nigga a bitch. I ain't hate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? If I feel like if a nigga was like, if your scenario, nigga, so, man, that nigga weak. Fuck that nigga.
Right, yeah, because I didn't hear none of that. What you said, he just was like,
Nah, it wasn't. It
If a nigga was
wasn't
just like, all right, cool, yeah, but I don't feel like that's hate.
That's not hate.
Like, all right, cool.
that's not hate, not to me.
Is that hate?
Blaze think it's hate a little bit.
I'm a producer, so I like a nigga getting a placement. I think that's great. When I hear it, I'm like, oh, that's great. So I'm never thinking, so what? Because I'm always rooting for Columbus. And if Columbus had an opportunity and they was on a #1 record, First Class, and produced it, that's a big deal.
To me, yeah, I thought it was a big deal.
Ain't that many opportunities. This ain't Atlanta. That opportunity doesn't really exist.
I don't know.
I don't know if anybody can say that.
I agree with that last part that you just said. Yeah, for sure. Like when it comes to the hometown, like you want to be able to root for the home team regardless. You know what I mean? Because when one wins, like we all win to an extent, and it opens up opportunities. It opens up doors for other people. You know what I mean? Like you said off air. Like I probably even said like the situation that has happened for Rashad now. You know what I mean? Like. You see how the floodgates then open up. You know what I mean? Now, what he should be doing with this opportunity, you know what I mean, is
getting fucking busy.
My people's like, look.
Oh, yeah, we talked about it. And
you know what I mean? Like,
I explained.
That's what should be happening. But now that's hate when you don't.
It's happening.
Okay.
But I'll explain later. But I don't know, man. It'd be weird, like
we did with the podcast. My fault for cutting you off. Like, just think, like, I mean, it's on a super, super small scale, but look how many people we've given opportunities to come sit down and be with us, to promote their shit, you know, to try to bring recognition to their brand and what they got going on. We did that strictly off the love because we trying to grow the field and because there ain't no hate in our heart. You know what I mean? Now, we haven't been afforded that opportunity by as many, and we don't trip on it. You know what I mean? But that's just what you do. Like when you feel like you're in a position to help somebody else or to pull somebody else up, that's just what you do. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's probably the reason why I am the way I am. Because I feel like when we was doing music back in the day, we didn't believe in the word no.
Right.
Like if you asked us to
nigga, I know.
on the song or whatever case may be,
I literally
we was saying
y'all in the recorded in the same.
And that's
hours.
what was crazy though. A lot of people.
In the studio.
Well, I had something to tend to.
I ain't never gonna let him live that one down.
A lot of people.
He's the nigga I met. Nigga was like, all right, bro, I'll be back.
I had a wild night tonight. I remember that night. I remember that night.
The place like, I got this instrumental.
I was comfortable. I just fucking.
A lot of people though, like, it's funny that you referenced that because a lot of people, for whatever reason, you know, they thought we was unapproachable or that we wasn't gonna fuck with it. Like, but little did niggas know, like, if you reached out to us, we was cool, done deal.
Oh, yeah.
Turning it around in hours, you know what I mean? But
hours.
Because if we couldn't both be in the song, one of us would be in the song.
yeah.
That's what it was.
No, I just feel like Columbus, like you said, like we cheer for the hometown, right? He's like, you want to feel that.
You a Columbus ass nigga too.
But I feel like we don't have that.
You ain't no Newark nigga. You a Columbus ass nigga.
I've been in Columbus longer than I lived in Newark. I ain't no corky ass Newark nigga.
But you a
I was
Columbus
outside.
He won't let that go. I'm gonna let him have his moment, man.
But you a Columbus nigga through and through.
He love to come on the show and get on his bullshit.
I'm not on my bullshit. But I just feel like Columbus don't have that. We still ain't got that superstar outside of football players, right?
It may not just be in the cards for us, man. You know what I mean? Like, as long as we've been seeing it, you know, with our own eyes of people trying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
and the cosigns that we have had, and it still hasn't worked. Like, you know what I mean? Like, not that it hasn't worked, but, and it's all subjective. You know what I mean? Like, it depends on how you measure what success is and, you know, what's a win for you. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen the Fly U's, you know what I mean? We've seen the recent Blaze. We've seen the mean mugs. Like, we've seen several people align, like, you know, LeBron James, Lil Wayne, like Cameron with B-Bank. Like, we've seen
right there at the door.
Massive cosigns, and, you know, for whatever reason, like, they just don't And I guess based off of what we deem should be the next level of success or stardom for them, maybe they're not reaching that for us. Like, cause I don't know.
It ain't like y'all failed.
Right.
Niggas is doing great.
This is miles.
So it ain't like a failure. Like even the reference what Giannis said, like it ain't like.
That was a great interview, man. I love
You know what
y'all.
I'm
I
saying?
love
Like, we
that
didn't
passion.
fail. So,
But the thing is, like, you got so many critics and so many people, and that's why I always bring it back to the competitive nature. You know what I mean? Like, when you're doing something where it has to be somebody that's a winner, it's gonna always turn into, you got this side over here, you got that side. It's either you win or you lost. You know what I mean? Now, you can take a lesson from it, you can learn from it, but at the end of the day, they still gonna stack up your wins and your losses. Like, no matter how you compartmentalize it or how you take it, it's gonna always be somebody sitting over there, the Stephen A. Smith, like, yeah, he lost. He's the greatest because he won. You know what I mean? So, just gotta run your own race, like Dad said. Like, you can't really get too sidetracked.
That's super.
that is the gem of the.
That's super important.
Yeah.
And I feel
That is the
that's
gem.
just life, period, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you really just.
Because if you're running your own race, you're not really concerned about what's
Not
going on outside of
concerned.
you.
Or
Salute,
hate.
and that's
You're
where
not
that comes
concerned
back
about the
to
hate.
salute. You know what I mean? But
You ain't got to worry about.
Because it's like, bro, when you get sidetracked and you be looking at everything else, I'm telling like that shit fuck you up.
It's a joy burglar.
Yeah.
and what they're doing, like I think Dan said just a couple minutes ago, like, you don't know what they've put in to get to where they're at. Like, what's in the cards for them may not be in the cards for you. They may be doing something that you may not be physically impossible, or you may not be capable of even doing.
Or they may have a resource that you don't know what I'm saying. Like
Right.
there be some things that's presented to the table that you just not afforded to. You feel what I'm saying?
What's
So
meant
it's
for
like,
you is
Even
meant
with
for
us,
you.
every podcast ain't got a blaze.
I'm gonna be real with you too. Like, it's funny y'all say that because, like, y'all
Damn, something that was funny.
y'all know that I'm a
loud.
loan officer.
Yeah.
Been very
I'm a loan
loud.
officer, and our producer married the top building rep in the Midwest. So it's like, yeah, I'm a loan officer and I do really good work, but I'm connected to one, like, she's championing my product all the time. I get a call once a week from a realtor saying, like, hey, I got your information from such and such.
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to link up. So that, the resources part is important.
The resource. Oh man, the resource.
Super important, man.
Like I'm a loan officer, and our producer that we came up with happened to be a realtor. You know, look like we playing that shit. But
Yeah.
we didn't. So, shit works sometimes.
That's how you corner the market, man. Like, you gotta have resources, you gotta have a network of
Relationships
people.
are extremely important. man.
Absolutely.
And that's why it pays to be good to people. You don't know who they know. You never know when you might need somebody, bro. That's why.
That's a Fendi, guys.
I like that. Yeah.
Oh yes. So
Y'all ready for that?
Yeah, we're ready.
Y'all ready for that?
Let's go.
Well, you gonna reconsider that? The Lakers.
No, you good.
Steph Curry had 30 in the third quarter.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
All right, so we got any more topics for the Patreon? Or we getting up out of here?
That was all I had.
I just wanted to kind of talk back on the mental health thing, man.
Okay.
Very, very.
I feel like we might have talked about this before, but it's just something that's been kind of
Jay went crazy.
it's been kind of on my mind, and I
Fit
just want
was
to know how y'all
insane
think,
today.
man. Like, do y'all feel like all these social media apps, man, like, is it detrimental to your mental health?
Not mine.
Yes.
Not yours, Reese?
Not mine.
Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, you know, like, and it's fun.
I want y'all to tell me how, though. Like,
Yeah, it's funny. Clubhouse. In the beginning, loved it. Y'all already know.
Stop fucking with it because of us.
right.
No, I definitely didn't. I stopped fucking with it because it, like, I don't know why, man. That shit was giving me anxiety. Like, I would freak out just.
Let your brother laugh at you.
Oh, he always laughs at me. But I would freak out just seeing that many people in a room, just everybody talking, and niggas like, what is it? One mic.
Mike.
Yeah.
Mute up.
Yeah.
Send them to the gulag.
Follow the greenhouse.
That shit would give me anxiety seeing that shit, bro. Like, I had to stop doing Clubhouse. Like, that shit was not good for my mental health. Like, even though it was a version of it on Spotify with B-Dot and them, it was like a smaller room, and it was like we all had one common mission. You know what I'm saying?
Get that name up off the floor.
It's with this man, like he.
All right. At this point, me and him are friends. So
No, I'm not disputing that at all.
Go ahead.
Right. Right. He recruited us to come over there. He banged on us. But go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, Clubhouse gave me anxiety, dog. I could not do it. Like, I had to delete the whole app. And now, like, even with Twitter, it's like the less I'm on there, the less I don't want to be on there anymore.
Yeah. Reese, it's a flat out distraction for me. Like sometimes I get up in the morning and I will be on there on Reels or Shorts on YouTube or whatever, and it's like I will lose an hour of time. Like Reese, I feel like I've looked at 3 Reels. I've looked at 32, and I feel like I've lost 2 hours already. And I
did that this morning.
But literally did it this morning. I was like, I'm on time for church. I'm about to be good. Next thing I know, I'm like leaving the crib at 10:50, supposed to be at 11.
I woke up at 8, and I looked up, it was 10 o'clock, and all I did was lay in bed and scroll.
It's a distraction.
Distraction, yeah, I'll give you all that. But
it's so much
I think
ass on my Instagram timeline, so it's a distraction.
See, I think I look at distraction differently than it being something bad for your mental health. Because that was your question, right?
I mean, everybody view it different. You know what I'm saying? I also too,
it's like
it's on my timeline every day. Like every day I wake up.
Everybody feel it different, and then also too,
I wouldn't have it any other way.
But also too, it depends on what you're using the app for. Like I feel like everybody's intentions and purpose with the app is different. You know what I'm saying? Or what apps, whatever that app is to you. You feel what I'm saying? So. For me, it's it kind of goes back to what we was talking about earlier. It's like I feel like Instagram, you can get caught in that rabbit hole of you because people only post the highlights, right? So it's like you kind of get caught in that rabbit hole of like watching other people and seeing what they doing, right? You seeing your peers and shit like that, and then it can kind of put you in a situation where you feeling like, damn, like what am I doing that? What am I not doing that they're doing that I'm not doing? These certain things, like when you see people on trips and you feel what I'm saying? Like I can see how one can get caught up in that rabbit hole.
Like I gotta start scamming.
But that's see what I'm saying? But you feel me? So like
because the 9 to 5 ain't getting me where I need to be.
Thank you. So it can
I need a lick.
He's proving my point, right? Blaze, he's proving my point, right? Like it can if one is not strong enough, it can
Oh, for sure, yeah. I 100% agree with you, like, but
I know what you said for you personally, it's not like
yeah, and that's the thing.
I can say for me personally, also too, like as the years have went on, like I've just evolved into this different person. So like who I used to be is not who I am now. You feel what I'm saying? And so like I like it. The older I get, bro, the more I'm realizing like I'm not as social as I used to be. Like I don't really like, you know what I'm saying? I don't really be wanting to do certain things.
Nigga, I noticed that on April 15th.
It's just a lot of stuff. It's just like I ain't really
got 45.
I ain't really, you know what I mean? I'm not really. But what bothers me is that
fucked up.
People expect you to be the old dad.
People won't let the old me go. You feel what I'm saying? So I have to get myself to.
Can't blame them for that though.
I understand that. I understand that.
But I understand where you come from.
But it's like, but also too, it goes with what Blake said. Like for so long, I've said, yeah, I really have to put my foot down and say no to stuff because because when my heart is not in it, it's gonna show.
But let me say this: the old Des was such a lovable person that nobody views the old Des as a bad person.
But I'm still a lovable.
I know,
I'm still a lovable person.
So people feel like they can still treat you because it was always love.
No, listen. I still love talking to people, interacting with people, stuff like that. But like, but certain activities. No, but hold up. Certain activities, I'm not like. We talk. Me and Reese have this talk all the time. I'm really not into the club no more, bro. You know what I'm saying? I find and every time I find myself walking into it, I get mad at myself because I didn't want to be there, and I'm like, why am I here? This is not a space for me no more. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to say, Travis. Is there's certain things that I used to do that I'm not that good anymore.
What are you supposed to though?
What's that?
Like I feel like the older we get, we just transition into other things. Right.
You're supposed to.
Right, because you shouldn't be still cool with doing Major Woody's type of events.
Nah, I don't be
anymore. Like
your demographic of the people who grew up with you, they shouldn't still be there either. I mean, but the thing is, sometimes people can only.
They love nostalgia.
Yeah, they love that, but
Yeah.
and they also they identify you as the host or the hype man of the party. You know, you got some people that know you, but they don't really know you.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And that's how they identify with you. Like, oh,
And
that's
I don't,
Dez
and I
at the
don't
shit
fault the
rapper.
person. I don't fault the person, but it's just like, I think that's why I feel like I'm a firm believer. It's like you really gotta, whatever it is that you on or wherever it is that you at, you gotta stand on it. You can't let people drag you back to things that you don't. You know what I'm saying? You can't allow people to bring you back to places or spaces that you don't want to be in no more. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, you only gonna fuck your own self up. You feel what I'm saying? And that's what I found myself doing. Is it's like I be going to these places like, bro, like, why am I here?
Dude.
I'm not even feeling this shit no more.
Do we fault people that when they meet us years ago, do we fault them if they still see us that way?
No.
It's still people that see me as Trav Dave, the rapper. And it's like, nigga, I ain't
No, but I
rapped
mean, you
since
can't.
2010.
I mean,
Like, fuck outta here.
listen, Trav. You can't fault people for viewing your service, especially if these are people that you don't interact with on the day to day or whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you only seeing people in passing every couple of years or whatever, of course they're gonna just remember the last memory of it. You know what I'm saying? So you can't fault them. But I feel like it's also important to just live in your truth. You feel what I'm saying? So if a person runs up on me and be on some like this, that, and the third,
Do the
like, funny
Fantasia.
shit. No. I like that perfect example. Like, nah, like that was a moment that's over with. You know what I'm saying?
But like when I was
So I'm not mad at people for doing that,
yeah,
but it's just like, but you gotta, but whoever you are and whatever you standing on, you gotta just create your boundaries.
Yeah, because you know, I told you the one time I was at some club and I ran into Dre Turn, and you know what I'm saying, and them niggas talk about rapping, and I'm like, nigga, I ain't.
Try. Keep coming to me all the
I
time.
don't I don't know that life, nigga. I don't even know if I can rap anymore, nigga. Like,
I probably haven't recorded a new verse in 6 years. Okay.
nigga.
When did we drop another album?
2014, I thought.
I
Something like
haven't performed a new verse since I did one little thing during COVID for Steph. But I know people still live off the Blaze mystique. I understand it.
Yeah.
I have 0% interest in writing 2 bars. I won't write 2.
Me either, nigga. Like, I'll think it's a shit in the car and be like, yeah, I'm gonna write this down.
I don't do that no more.
But
every now and then I will jot some shit down. You know what I mean? If I hear a beat that moves me, you know.
I don't even know if I can memorize a 16 right now, nigga.
I think you could, but it's just that.
It's like shooting a free throw. You know what I mean? Like if it's in you, it's in you. You know, but
I don't know, man. Cause do you still get that Reese as like the rapper nigga or
Like
the
I said-
basketball nigga? Like you still get that?
yeah, basketball definitely don't go anywhere. And even with music, like I tell you, every now and then I will hear something.
Like Ruggs, like you know, Ruggs be both y'all niggas say something about music, like nigga, like I don't even like.
If I hear the right beat, I will get motivated probably for a quick, 10 minutes or so, and start playing with the voice notes on my phone and shit like that. But it comes and goes so quick. Like it's not sustainable. It doesn't last. That's how I know I'm not in love with it no more, because it was a quick moment. You know what I mean? Like now basketball is something different. Like my whole body get to twitching. Like but I know I can't move and operate like I used to, but I still will get out there and try like and get torched. But
That's all, because like like we all completely different people from when we started this podcast. Like,
And I feel like that's natural. I feel like if you ain't growing, that's a problem.
Growth.
You know what I'm
Pause.
You can't say growth without a.
Hey, I've been sitting here
saying?
wanting
If
to
you
say
ain't
growth.
growing, that's a pause.
I said growth.
Okay, I'm about to say, damn.
Growth and growing, they're the same thing though.
But that's a pause.
It's not a pause. I just said it because I knew.
Oh yeah, protect yourself.
You're right. I knew he was down there waiting. I'm like, huh? What you say?
extra B is wild.
Yeah, I mean, but
I said low.
he was like that ED on it, right? Yeah, I mean, and I think that comes along with people really knowing you, and then there's just people being associates. Like your inner circle or your circle of people, they've seen the changes, they've seen the growth, and they know that's not you no more. You know what I mean? Like, so they get it. It's the people that don't necessarily know you, and that's why I'm not as bothered by it.
Yeah,
because
and I don't be in, to make it clear, I don't be bothered by people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When they, especially people that I don't, really interact with or see like that. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, and also too, even with social media, like people only see what you put out, so like people gonna put you in those type of boxes. But I'm just saying, for me personally, you gotta create your boundaries and you gotta be able to say no. Because I feel like if you don't, then people
Fuck
gonna
my parlay
always
No,
yeah,
it's
but
so
it's
powerful,
just
dog.
yeah, like it is, bro.
No,
it really
it's
is,
powerful.
man.
And it's hard to say. It's hard. Like, shit, I be wanting to say that shit to him in the lounge sometimes. Like, nah, I don't want to do this shit. But,
Right.
yeah. Just be tired, bro. Just be tired. Tired.
Yeah, that's a lot of commitment.
Yeah. Especially for a nigga that didn't, you know what I'm saying, that's still kind of new at it. Like, I'm learning as I go. And if I have a gig Friday, then, a commitment on Saturday, it's like, damn.
Patreon, how we looking?
Yeah, man, that's it, man.
How we
Patreon.
looking?
Yeah, we about to turn up. We
about to
say,
turn up.
Yeah, we about to turn up.
Yeah.
We starting off with the big.
Y'all wanna get to the bigger first? We'll do that. We'll get to it.
That's what we do. So we
Patreon.
appreciate y'all.
We back. Salute to y'all, Patreon, man. I know we missed last week. Please forgive us, but we back. We back.
That's why you get stuck on these motherfuckers.
Trav, it's an endless. It's an endless quantity.
No, there's so many bad hoes.
So that explains why it's always on mine, though, because y'all two niggas. So it's y'all
Just put
two.
that on us. You just know. You're the honor.
Trav be sending me that shit. I'm like, oh, I'm there too, Trav. I see it.
Before he even. So maybe you're affecting his algorithms. You were already in class.
I see it, too.
I was there first.
I see it. That's it. We signing off. All right, so let's wrap. We'll wrap it up, and then we're gonna get into the show. So,
All right, man. Patreon, we love y'all.
love y'all, yo.
Peace.
Good.